Okay, welcome back to It's New. Whole crew with you today. I'll be talking about some movement we're seeing with the Google Core November 2024 core update. Crystal, what do you got for us?
Products near you or near me, near somebody.
Cool. And Mordy?
Google says being trendy is so passé.
Great. And Greg?
Ahoy, matey. There's a new Google AdSense collapsible anchor ad.
All right. So the Google November core update started on Monday afternoon. We've been sitting around scratching our heads. What's going on? When's it happening? When we're going to see anything? And we're starting to see some movement. The tools themselves are all pretty quiet, unusually quiet, which maybe is like the opposite of movement. But if you dig in, there are a lot of people talking about my site saw this, my site saw that. After the core update was announced, people are saying Google lied to us and the core update started weeks ago. That being said, Glenn Gabe did a nice post on Twitter X showing sites that he's tracking that were hit by previous core updates and helpful content updates and so forth. Even the Forbes Advisor site showing significant movement in the past couple of days around some of those sites. So my recap is that we're seeing some sites see big movement but a lot of people aren't seeing yet. I did a poll on Twitter and LinkedIn, about 80% across those so far. It's a fairly new poll, but there's hundreds and hundreds of votes already. 80% saying they're not seeing anything yet, whereas 20% saying they are seeing stuff. Who knows the details? I haven't dug into them specifically, but I think we're starting to see the beginning of this rollout hit.
Okay. All right. Buckle up. Settle in.
Crystal, I know you want to talk about products near me.
Yeah. So Google has just announced, Google Maps has added products nearby for product searches. So you can now search for products in Google Maps and see product results. This I think is awesome personally, because I am often looking for these things. And the visual that they've got shows the place. You can look at the map and you can see product nearby. And there's, for this one, I think it was looking at sweaters. And it will not only show you what the product is, how much it costs, but it will also give you a location where it's available. And then you can do all of the things you do on maps, like get directions and where you need to go to make your purchases. So this is just in time for Black Friday. Just in time for the holiday shopping season. So yeah, go forth and be consumers.
Crystal, you missed it. I almost just died. I put coffee down the wrong pipe there. Or you should freeze frame that.
Wrong hole?
My lung hole. I don't know what it's called. My eyes almost popped out of my head. If you can freeze frame that, that's a meme.
I will try to zoom in on that for everybody's enjoyment.
Well, and then you can do all of the things you do on maps, like get directions and where you need to go to make your purchases. So this is just in time for Black Friday.
And I think this feature has been around on Google Search and Google Shopping for a while to find nearby products, but now it's nice that it's actually in the Google Maps app. So that's pretty cool. And hopefully that will make up for some of the sites getting demolished right before the holiday season by the core update. Anyway, talking about doing things that are going to get your site demolished, let's talk about Google Trends.
Yeah, that'll get your site demolished real quick. John Mueller was saying that, hey, maybe you don't want to use tools like Google Trends like over extensively. The exact quote was, I do want to caution that it's easy to go overboard with tools like these. I can read. You don't have to create pages to cover every possible related search terms. It's important that the content which you publish actually adds value to the web overall, and that it doesn't just repeat what others have said. Be selective, focus on your own expertise, focus on your users, blah, 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 blah. I totally agree. And I think that if you're only using tools like, I don't know, Trends or Search Console or the third-party tools to create content, you don't know what it means to create. It's not how it works. You have an audience, they have expectations. There's topics are constantly changing. New conversations are happening. You can't just look at a suggestion tool and say, oh, I will write about that. That's just not how it works. I don't know how to better explain that. It's not how it works.
That's the way people have been doing it for a long time. I agree. It's like the opposite way of doing things. And it always surprised me that Google keeps posting these Google Trends videos on how to come up with like content ideas on the Google Search Central channel that talks about also write content not for search engines, but for users.
Hey, Daniel Weisberg got to keep busy somehow.
I guess. Not to downplay the Google Trends. It's a great tool, but it's just, I don't know. Shouldn't be on the Google Search Central channel, in my opinion.
I find, I'll be completely honest, when they say don't write for search engines, write for people, I'm like, but people use the search engines, and the way that the search engine is built dictates what the people will see and what they search with. So it kind of makes my brain hurt a little bit. Like I kind of get what they're saying. I'm confident.
The same thing is like, don't write titles for like social media. Like, you won't believe what you'll see here, ... click. And it doesn't tell you what it's really about. And there's some people who write like that, and it drives me insane.
I get that, but people click on it
every time.
So what?
I was kidding.
It's click. I don't do that I make the titles so explicit that you don't have to read the article even, which is like the opposite of what a publisher wants to do, but whatever. Any event.
You make those super fun graphics.
Yeah, the fun graphics do help, I guess.
There's the F word again.
Yes. All right. Talking about publishers that want to monetize their sites, I think Google's doing something pretty crazy here, Greg, right?
Yeah. So they're changing the anchor ad a little bit, or enhancing it. Let's say you do not have to opt into this, but the anchor ad is one of those at the bottom on mobile. This is mobile only, and you typically can kind of hit that carrot down and get out of there. This new collapsible anchor ad is like, it adds an extra step, I would say, where you land on the page and you have sort of like a big square ad, like typically what would be a 300, 250, something like that. And when you collapse it down, it just collapses to the anchor now. So it's still there. And then you have to collapse it again to dismiss it. And it's sort of like omnipresent. Like, you can't actually ever get away with it. But the ad will now show not one time, but you have to collapse it twice in order to get rid of it, which again, when you hear people talking about, don't have intrusive ads and things like that, like the fact that when you close this thing, it just turns into a different ad and then you have to close it again.
Supposedly it's against the ad agent, whatever the industry behind the ads is, like, it's against their guidelines. Supposedly people are like, this is against the something better business, whatever. I forgot the actual name of the IAB or something like that, IAB guidelines. And the thing here is that it's going to automatically turn on for everybody who has anchor ads, meaning you can opt out of this, but you have to go into settings, be notified about this, and say, hey, I need to go ahead and turn this off. So this is something Google's going to turn on by default, and it's just like annoying. I mean, it's an annoying ad experience. So
yeah, and I would imagine how this could impact you is, if you're an advertiser, it's probably going to, there's a lot of fat finger stuff that happens anyway. Now you got two of them to try to turn this ad off. Like, it's probably not going to be great unless it's working. I don't know. Maybe that you get more inventory. So
Google says it increased visibility of ads, leading to enhanced performance. So let's trust Google. Any event, we're not back tomorrow. We are going to be back on Monday, hopefully. And everyone have a great weekend. Thanks for being with us, and see you guys on Monday. Thanks so much.